Welcome to the very first episode of the Go Get Outside podcast. I am your host, Jason Milligan. If you compared this to the other episodes in the feed, you may have noticed that this one is especially short. That is because this episode is not representative of the rest. This is basically an introduction to the show. Instead of wasting a bunch of time in other episodes explaining the format of the show to you, I'm going to do it right here. So what is this show? What is the Go Get Outside podcast? Conversations with people who get outdoors. These don't tend to be elite athletes or people that you'd see on television, but people like us who have everyday lives, jobs, families, responsibilities, but also find time to get outdoors. There will be some exceptions. Some of the people I talk to maybe make a living in this. Some of them may be filmmakers. Some of them may be instructors. It's basically an opportunity to get to know people in the outdoor community. Maybe you're in this community. Maybe you're not. Maybe you'd like to be part of this community. So this is the format of the show. Each episode will be a face-to-face interview with a different person, an opportunity to get to know that personality. The reason I'm doing face-to-face interviews and I'm not doing Skype calls or anything like that is I feel like it's a little more personal. I think the conversations will be better this way. I think they'll feel more natural, and I think the people will be more comfortable when they're being interviewed. I've also tried to record every interview in a natural environment. For instance, right now I'm in a park recording this intro. I want to avoid kind of a sterile environment. So that does mean sometimes there will be noise. I'll do my best to combat when there are things like radiator noise or hums from electrical appliances or maybe air conditioning units or things like that. But that does mean that there may be times when the audio will not be perfect. I'm hoping that atmosphere will make up for the fact that the audio may not be absolutely pristine. The show will not be censored. I don't expect any kind of crazy racy topics, but what I do mean is maybe sometimes we might talk about things that aren't 100% family friendly, or we may use foul language. There may be a hell or a damn occasionally, or maybe every once in a while some stronger curse words than that. I don't intend on censoring those things, but overall they'll be minimal. I do think for the most part this is a family-friendly show. It is a show that's intended for everyone. People who are active outdoors, people who aren't yet active outdoors, people who would like to be active outdoors, maybe even people that aren't sure. Maybe they think, oh, it's dirty, it's dangerous, I don't want to go. Give it a listen, get to know these people, maybe you'll change your mind, maybe you won't. Either way, hopefully everyone will enjoy the show. This will be a weekly show. Episodes will come out on Thursday. Each episode will be probably 45 minutes to an hour, give or take a little more sometimes. The show will be broken into seasons. So this first season will likely be 21 episodes, an entire American drinking age worth of episodes released each week through February of 2016. Then I'll take a break and hopefully start a second season. I'm located in California, in Southern California, northern Los Angeles. So a lot of these episodes will, for the first season, be West Coast centric. I have interviewed people who come from the East Coast, the Midwest, and various other places, even some people from other countries. But because I'm located in the West right now, and this is a self-funded show, it's mostly going to focus on this area. I hope that changes in future seasons. I would love to talk to people from the South. I am from the South myself, originally. I would like to talk to more people from the East Coast, more people from other countries. Hopefully that will happen in the second season and seasons after that. So as I said, the show's not going to be censored, and I'm also not going to censor the political views of the people I interview. I don't anticipate the show getting particularly political, but sometimes people may voice their opinion, either leftist, rightist, or centrist, and maybe I will debate with them a little bit if I disagree with their opinion. Maybe sometimes I won't. I'd like to think everyone will have an opportunity to give their own viewpoints in this show without someone bashing them or making them feel uncomfortable. I am a climber, a canyoneer, a backpacker, and a filmmaker primarily. So those are going to appear in the show a lot. I apologize beforehand. You're going to hear a lot about canyoneering. That's because I run in these groups. These are the people I know. Don't worry, there are also other activities and sports represented. I've talked to people about peak bagging, van living, camera trapping, martial arts, escape rooms, photography, street luge, rafting, paddling, cycling, fly fishing, swimming, search and rescue, mountaineering, and even dirt bagging. So we do cover a lot of things. I'm hoping to include other activities in future seasons. I'd love to cover everything. I'd love to include paragliding, hunting, anything people do outdoors has a home on this show. So you may be wondering who I am. You may have noticed it says Butcherbird Studios as the purveyor of this podcast. And you maybe wonder why the hell I am doing a show like this. So I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I was born in Baton Rouge, Louisiana in 1977. That's right, in the 70s. I did spend a lot of time outdoors as a child, a lot of times on my bike, playing in the woods, climbing trees, climbing on houses, jumping off balconies and occasionally fracturing my wrist and things like that. What I didn't do was climbing, backpacking, surfing, activities like that. I would see them in magazines, I'd see them in TV, I was very interested in them. But as far as I knew, that was reserved for elite athletes in other regions of the country, not for people like me. In my professional life, I work in video production, graphic design, animation, things of that nature. I've worked in comic books, television news, basically in different parts of the entertainment industry. I've even been a puppeteer, and for a little while, I even did a little bit of ballet. I moved to Los Angeles in 2002, struggled here for a long time, went through a big breakup in 2006, and decided to look at my life and redefine my life. Look at the things that made me unhappy, look at the things that made me happy. And one of the things was that I was missing outdoor activities in my life. I found a website called extremethings.com that had an adventure club, and I joined that adventure club. In that club, I got to try everything. Things I didn't even know existed. That's when I first found out what canyoneering was. I got to try a little bit of caving, even though I'm claustrophobic. Skydiving and backpacking and rafting. Since then, I've gone on to try paragliding and surfing. Almost every outdoor activity that's out there, I've at least given it a try if I don't do it. Once I did that, my life changed a lot. Being more proactive outdoors and following pursuits that were interesting in me, I started finding myself having more career success. And within a few years, I had started a video production company with 3 other guys called Butcherbird Studios. So Go Get Outside began as a web series, a video web series. If you go to gogetoutside.com, you can see the 4 episodes in that series. There were 5-minute episodes introducing people to hiking, caving, canyoneering, and surfing. I do hope to make more episodes in that series one day. That remains to be seen at this point. At some point, I realized Go Get Outside could be more than just a video series. It could be a place for people to go, learn about the outdoors, share in the community, become part of the community. So I decided to start this podcast. So the good thing about this show is I interview other people who are much more interesting than me. I find I am an inconsistent whistler. Sometimes I can whistle, other times I can't whistle very well at all. Today seems to be one of those where I can't whistle very well at all. Other weird thing, when I was a kid, I used to be able to snap all my fingers. Now I can only snap 2 fingers. When I try to snap the others, it doesn't do anything. I don't know if that's about. I don't know if that's an increase in friction in my fingers or what. I think that covers pretty much everything you need to know for the show. I hope you come back. I hope you tune in. If you subscribe in whatever podcasting app, machine, whatever you use, you should get your new episode every Thursday. If you're interested in knowing any more about me, you can go to butcherbirdstudios.com to learn about my business, or you can go to chinnystyle.com, which is where you'll be able to find my personal blog, which covers everything from the outdoors to my work to whatever else. You also can check out my Vimeo page, which is vimeo.com/forchinnigan. That's FOURCHINNIGAN. There you'll find videos from client work, but then also you'll find lots of outdoor videos, lots of GoPro compilations, the Go Get Outside videos. I also recently got a smartphone. That's right. I waited all this time to finally move away from a slider phone and finally move into the 21st century and get a smartphone. So I've been playing around with Instagram. You can go there, follow me, whatever, look at my pictures, whatever you want, Instagram.com/Forchinigan, FOURCHINNIGAN. There are also going to be show notes. If you look at the show notes for this show, you'll see all those links. If you go to gogetoutside.com and check out the podcast page, there will be a post for this episode that will include all the links, maybe some fun photos. Check back for our next episode. This second episode will feature Klaus Gerhardt. He is a local in Los Angeles. He's an instructor for and the owner of Uber Adventures, which is the local canyoneering school/store. So come back, check that out. If you want to contact the show, you can send us a message at go@butcherbirdstudios.com. You could also leave us a voicemail. I have a Google Voice thing set up. It only gives you 3 minutes to leave a message. The number is 1-818-925-0106. Call that number if you want to be on the show. You can leave me a message. Maybe I'll include it in a future episode. Call in on the show, man. Get involved. Be part of the show. Hopefully you don't hate me and you come back and listen to future episodes. Maybe one day I'll get a real host. The good news, the other people do most of the talking. This is the only episode where you have to hear me talk this much. All right. Bye, guys. I love you. X's, O's, all that stuff. See you in the next episode.